Today, I'm going to do a little reflection reading with my little baby Rider-Waite deck. I recently did a brand new Thoth background reading, which I've been kind of molding over and just trying to work out my first impressions, because often I think first impressions can be a little misleading when it comes to the tarot specifically. I mean, just in this spiritual practice, like it's almost like my first impression is from the cards is something I have to overcome a little bit. And two, I think I've really been taking a break from socialization. I went on vacation and I've just we spent so much time on the vacation talking, you know, and I felt like I was such uh, like a vessel, you know, for the talking to occur through listening and through adding and occasionally adding in, but especially through listening, you know. Or I should just say I spent a lot of time listening, you know, and there's a funny thing that happens um, when we have to and are confronted with another person's version of events, where it's funny, like if we haven't yet made some sort of peace with something or someone, then I think what comes out uh, in terms of a reaction to someone else's version of events can be flavored by and almost an indication of the thing that you're not actually confronting. And I hope that made sense the way I said it, because it's like it's kind of a roundabout way to talk about projection, but I think it's a little bit more complicated than projection. Because it's something that we all have to do. Like, we all owe it to ourselves and to the people that we love and care about to hear their side of the story and to integrate it into our version of events. And I want to be careful here, because this is not about invalidating your own or my own version, right? This is about leaving space for other people. Because I do think part of having this really complicated and sometimes convoluted relationship with the divine that I have, so much so that I make videos about it, is that I actually lost my train of thought. I realized that a statue was turned around on my shrine, and it completely derailed me. Interesting. Anyways, I'm going to shuffle these cards a little bit while I keep talking. Um, part of understanding the truth, and truth is a loose term, right? Because whenever you are in a space of considering everyone's view and everyone's experience, but maintaining your, I guess, or maintaining my sovereignty, because that's what I was doing, listening. I think that's what I was describing when I said that I was listening. It's like I was holding my experience while also making room in myself for a different version of events to inform that. And, you know, I did a lot of being heard as well on this trip. which was cathartic. So then the other side of that is that I also kind of just need to give a little space and make a little space in my life and in my heart and my mind for just being alone in my room and actually really like working through all the shit we talked about, you know? Because it's, you know, because I'm such an emotionally open person, I'm very affected by the emotions of the people around me. Because I'm so in tune with mine, I so often feel like I can almost feel what other people are thinking, or I have an intuitive sense about how emotions flow through a group of people and through a conversation. You know, like and I'm not the only one, obviously. I'm just saying it's like it takes a toll on me, I think. But a good toll. An incredible toll. The toll I need to take on me, you know, like shit. And that's kind of the thing, you know, I'm really struggling to integrate right now is that I need to be in motion in order to really learn things. In order to really integrate these lessons and almost earn it. To almost earn it, I need to bring it into motion. But it's like there's something holding me back. You know, like, and it's not something outside of me, it's something in me. It's something maybe holding on to like a survival tactic. Or, God, I need to make sure this is recording. Yeah, it is, okay. Always need to do that. Because I've done that before. Huh. It's not something that is outside of me. It's like a thinking process. And it's not one that I have shamed for or hurt myself for. It's something I did to survive. It's an emotional thing. I think it's even why I drink so much damn sugar. Just survival shit. You know, being in my body, wanting to find instant gratification instantly. But being obsessed with it, like feeling like shit if I wasn't meeting my material physical needs. Just so tethered to my body. And I guess I'm seeing that here with the past card, right? Is that I feel very capable in my body. You know, like I have good senses, my hearing, sight, all that's good. I'm naturally strong and flexible, and I stretch every day. You know, I care a lot about my body and my longevity. And to the point where I was almost like overwhelmed with it, especially as I was in my early 20s and getting into like actually being a full-grown male in this body. It was like, oh my God, look at what I'm capable of. Hell yeah. Yeah, and it's funny. I've talked about being non-binary and realizing what that meant. It was almost like I knew somewhere, somehow, that there was a part of me that was beyond gender. You know? And I just happen to be in a body that works really well and channels male masculine energy at full throttle at all times. And it's a good and a bad thing, you know? Like, on the one hand, I've talked about my beard and how I pick at it and shit, but also my beard looks great right now. All this hair on me. I like having all this hair on me. And it's almost because I've earned it. It's weird. It's like because I'm really expressing my emotions and being free and taking care of the things I need to take care of, I am freeing myself to even express my masculinity in a way that feels good. Because I didn't resist expressing masculinity out of some sort of regret for diving into it fully in my early 20s. It was just like I did that and I was living that way, and life just showed me like, hey, this ain't really who you are. It was almost like God was like, hey, I see you're enjoying this, but in the back of your mind, don't forget, you got a mission. I got a plan for you. Very strange to hear myself talk like that. I know nothing. Thank you, Spirit. Right, for the past, associated with the 4 discs power, we have the inverted Knight of Swords. And this is a context on my background reading. In the present, the 3 of Swords, the card of heartbreak. And that is associated with the Prince of Wands for the Thoth. And the Tower inverted over the universe. Wow. I think I before we flip over to the seat at the bottom, I think I'm actually going to work on these a little bit. So here with the Knight of Swords, I see part of what I was talking about earlier about being really locked into my physical form was also in my early 20s, whenever I completely abandoned the idea of a world with God or any sort of magic. I was really a part of the New Age, the New Atheism movement of the early 2000s and mid 2000s. It's like it's aquaforts. Ladies, you're all here. And there was like part of why I was locked in to my physical senses was because there was the nature of why I disbelieved in everything was logical. In my mind, I saw that there was a lot of suffering in the world. And I was definitely one of those people who was like, oh, if all this suffering and pain exists in the world, then either God doesn't give a fuck or God is evil and wants us to suffer. And that was really how I looked at it for the majority of my life. And I definitely see that in the Knight of Swords. But where I'm at now, with the Prince of Wands and heartbreak, the 3 of Swords, I see those ideas, that adherence to that logical worldview broke my heart. Now, I broke my heart, right? By buying into them. By choosing to live in a world that wasn't magical whenever it... Now, in a space that I'm at now, the physical world is constantly and is eager to participate in the spiritual journey. Eager. You know? I have to have the discernment to you know, see the messages and discern them from the noise. And when I believe that too, I'd been through a lot. And then maybe this is interesting because it's the Knight of Swords inverted here is like, I had an inverted worldview because it's like what I was talking about earlier. I hadn't actually dealt with the things that were really hurting me. But now that I'm in a healed place, I'm kind of in this state of heightened sensitivity, and it's hard to maintain, and I often don't. I have these kind of lulls where I have to obviously let my energy dip. But that's all part of the process too, right? It's kind of, so what I'm saying, I'm feeling everything, but I'm not depressed, and it's beautiful. It's like my heart breaks every day, but it is also made stronger every time. Every time it breaks, it is reformed stronger. My first impression with the universe being in this position, I'm very familiar with this card, but I was a little confused by the positioning, especially in relation to the four discs and the Prince of Wands, because they're upright. This is inverted, and it kind of was messing with me. But here with the inverted tower, I feel like I'm going to have and have had already many tower moments. And that's what I mean. Every time it breaks down, I build it up strong again so that it can break down again and grow stronger again. The Fool, when the tower falls, the Fool is at the top of it. And he plummets to the ground. But the Fool is also on the outside, watching as it crumbles, watching himself fall. Already familiar with the ground. And if I can orient myself around the flame and around change, around the thing inside of me that doesn't change, that everything changes around, right? Even this body. If I can orient myself around that, then there's no limit to the healing that can occur. Because that's what really worries me. Those are the things I think about. I think, can the world be healed? Does it want to heal? And what does it mean to heal if the world we live in has turned our wounds into gods? What does it really mean to try to create a space of healing? It becomes sacrilege. It becomes a ghetto in this fucked up world. Spiritually fucked up, I should say. It's not all fucked up. But this world is certainly spiritually fucked up. With the Prince of Swords in the bottom of the deck, I'm going to flip over. Strength. Face up on the bottom of the deck. The Princess of Swords and Strength face up. And the Knight of Swords? This is really interesting. It's like I see here I've talked about this before, but I needed a period of time where I didn't believe in shit so that I could understand the futility of that. And that's my foundation. My foundation is the darkness, and the light that I'm growing within is impervious to heartbreak. In fact, it is emboldened and strengthened by it. This is so interesting. It's like strength on the bottom of the Rider Waite makes me feel like there's an interaction of strength between each of these cards. Like maybe the fact that I doubted so much and was so hurt by my idea of God was representative of how good of a spiritual foundation I already had, because I was still aware of these things despite being hurt by them. So I denied them. I denied something that I knew was always true. And the Prince of Wands is prideful. He wields the staff of the phoenix. He barely holds the reins because he trusts the lion's pride to lead him towards his destiny. Yeah, I've been through a lot. I'm still got a lot to go through, and the flame illuminates all that serves and burns away all that doesn't. And here, I think this is about breaking paradigms. Because if the world is a little bit inverted, then what it needs is to fall apart. Not all at once. Maybe not even out loud. But this in my mind is like you heal yourself and the world heals along with you. As within, so without. And this Princess of Swords is still giving me a little trouble on the bottom of the deck. But I definitely sense that there's this strength. There's a sort of strength in the fact that it's inverted.